Hello, Fantastic Beasts fans! Today we got a surprise. We thought we'd seen the last trailer, but the number of new clips and a special Adventure Continues video released today with J.K. Rowling narrating was almost as good as a new one, and filled with new bits to tease us. I'm Susan Chapal with Fantastic Secrets Behind Fantastic Beasts to bring you the clues. Join me and other Fantastic Beasts fans here on the Beast Chaser Forum as we uncover the secrets, discover what's coming first, and play along with Rowling's newest game. And make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you'll be notified when videos post and won't miss out on the next clues. As I'm noting in every video now, with the richness of detail that has been released, there may be spoilers ahead, so proceed here and in the comments below with extreme caution. The first new image we see is a repeat of Credence in a cage with the Oni nearby. But in this one, an elf is shown taking care of the Oni. And notice the Oni's horns, how similar they are to the fiery demon dragon we showed from the Russian trailer. I'm not saying that the dragon is an Oni instead, but I do find it interesting that their horns are similar. Then, Credence gives Nagini a note that says, "Meet under Bird Market Bridge." So, the question is, who gave this note to Credence? Because he wouldn't need to write a note to Nagini when he's standing right in front of her. I think it was our mystery woman, who is half elf and is shown at Grimmson's feet after they make the escape. But is she part of Grindelwald's trap to secure Credence? Because in the next clip, we hear Grindelwald talk about Credence saying, "The path has been laid, and he is following it, the trail that will lead him to me." Personally, if our half-elf is part of Grindelwald's trap, I think it's unwittingly, because Grindy does not seem to be at a stage to kill off his confederates. It's more likely that Grimmson has been hired to follow Credence and Nagini when they leave the circus, and our mystery woman is collateral damage. But Credence's explosive obscurus keeps Grimmson from taking him at that point. I also want to point out something interesting here that was highlighted to me in a tweet by @warwomb. Notice this cabinet behind Grindelwald, which though we can't see well, is better shown here than in previous trailers. No, I don't think it's the same as the one we talked about in the last video that I thought might be a vanishing cabinet. The detailing of the cabinetry is different. The one behind Credence has carved woodworking, while this one seems to have some sort of symbol or crest. But what if this one is its mate? And what if Grindelwald takes over this unfortunate man's home, a la Slughorn, but in order to have access to the passage between cabinets? At least Slughorn chose the home of Muggles on holiday and left them alive. And what is that symbol on the cabinet behind Grindelwald? Can anyone make it out? We also get another quote from Dumbledore in the bus scene when he tells Newt that Credence may not know who he is yet, but he needs to be found. This quote not only reaffirms Credence as someone with important heritage, but that Dumbledore already knows who Credence is and his heritage, and this is early in the film. So I'm guessing not only was Dumbledore aware of an obscurus in New York when he manipulated Newt to go there, but he was also aware of Corvus Lestrange V being sent into exile, which we speculated on in a couple of prior videos. We catch a brief glimpse of Credence's image in a pensieve, probably at the Ministry of Magic, and Grindelwald looking through a hearse carrying caskets to a woman watching him from behind it. I thought this might be Credence's aunt or Mrs. Lestrange, but Lara on Twitter pointed out that it's Caro, played by Maja Bloom. I really don't know what her role is here. What do you think? Next, we get several new reveals for the cemetery and amphitheater scenes. First, we see Leta in the Lestrange mausoleum looking in the same direction as Abernathy and Yusuf Kama were in earlier images. I speculated before about something being hid behind there, and now I'm convinced of it. But what? Is it merely the access to the amphitheater? Is it the book that Grindelwald is shown reading that we're about to discuss? Or is it the casket of some very important Lestrange, one who Grindelwald is seeking to resurrect?
perhaps the power behind the dragon himself. Here is a new image of Grindelwald in the amphitheater ceremony. This time, though, besides the skull pipe that Venda holds, we can also see Grindelwald reading from a large book. Surely he's casting a spell from a very gruesome one like Secrets of the Darkest Arts that contain the Horcrux spell. Personally, I'm guessing it's related to the Key of Solomon or the Lesser Key of Solomon, real-world ancient grimoires that we've discussed here before that taught the art of calling forth demons or spirits to do the magician's will. So, just as we've speculated, Grindelwald would be using this ancient spellbook to give rise to a spirit or spirits. That bright light rises in the center of the amphitheater. Notice this is before people start disappearing. I'm wondering if the two are related. In a prior video, I talked about how the people are not truly apparating. Something seems to be happening to them. They look up and then something overtakes them as they twist about like plumes of smoke or dust. I thought maybe they were being executed, but Jessica Marcelino had an excellent comment in the thread of that video that I think hit what's happening exactly. In referring to the caskets we see Grindy's cronies carting about, she said, "The ones that Grindelwald is bringing from the dead with their ashes from the graveyard, so they just went back to their normal form. A powerful, burning magic could turn someone into ashes very fast, but I don't think that's the case because in a previous video of yours, we are trying to understand why no one is caring or shocked for those people turning into ashes. Maybe it's because they're already dead." I agree with Jessica. Now I'm also wondering if all those effigy statues will animate as part of this ceremony as well. Based on Jessica's comment, I'm wondering if Grindelwald supplemented his audience of supporters from among the dead. If the amphitheater is located below the graveyard with a grave full of spirits or decaying bodies directly above, is it possible that he took advantage of the enormous population at his disposal to temporarily supplement his audience, making it look larger? And could the spirits, by proximity, also include generations of Lestranges? And could Grindelwald have carted in a few important bodies that he most wanted in attendance at this ceremony? Could this be a Grindelwald version of crisis actors? And then, once this part of the ceremony is done and Grindelwald no longer needs these extra bodies, they spin back into dust and return to the graves above that they came from. What do you think? Next, it seems that Flamel gets to the graveyard in just the nick of time. I'm assuming he's shown watching from this crystal ball at home what is happening in the amphitheater, and that Newt may be in over his head. Flamel must apparate in to help save the day. But let's end with the dragon. In my last video, I showed how the Russian trailer dragon had curved horns we hadn't seen before, almost like a demon. Casey Fife made an interesting comment in the thread that it looked like an ifrit to her, a type of djinn. We've discussed the possibility of djinn before. See my video linked above. To be honest, I'm really not sure. In this new image of the dragon, you can see the spikes on its back, very dragon-like, but also the horns, very demon and ifrit-like as well. And we do have Grindelwald reading from a book that may be giving rise to this beast, a book that may be linked to the King of Solomon, who was said to keep a container full of djinn to do his bidding. But what I'm most excited about with the dragon scene was this clip, where it seems to me that the dragon overcomes and tangles with the phoenix. Notice here the reddish swirl. Is that the phoenix we've been talking about? And if so, is it another spirit, a spell, perhaps cast by the ancient power of the immortal Flamel, or perhaps Lita in her monster form revealed?
So what do you think? What kind of book do you think Grindelwald is using? Is Credence walking into a trap? And how many more goodies are we likely to get before November 16th? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Also, please check out my new fan shop on Amazon for books and Funko Pops and wands and all things Fantastic Beasts.